What's the most attractive body type on a guy? Dad bod, skinny bod, shredded bod.
Cbum.
What's up, guys? So today we're going to be talking about why everybody in the fitness community loves Cbum. And I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but like from what I've noticed, like I have never really seen any hate towards Cbum. Like I'll see hate towards like majority of the other fitness influencers and people, and even like fitness influencers that are generally like loved and, you know, not looked down upon. Like even then they'll get some hate, but I don't know any time that I've ever seen anybody hate on Cbum. So in this video I'm basically just gonna be talking about why I think Cbum has gained so much respect over the years and why everybody loves him. So first off, I think one of the reasons why he's so respectable is because of how humble he is. Just throughout all of his years of competing, there's never been a sign of him doing the sport to be super showy or anything. Like specifically, I can remember, I forget which year of the Olympia it was. I think it was 2020, but it was during the pre-show press conference with him and Breon. And when they were doing the press conference, Breon was like, you know, I'm ready to show off some stuff right now. Breon takes his suit off and starts flexing and going crazy, but Cbum just kind of, you know, stood there and kind of had that, like, I don't want to say it, but like that Sigma mentality, like, okay, you can be showy now, but I'll get you later. And then that's what he did. So he's humble in the sense that, like, you know, he's not out here trying to one up everybody. He's just trying to better himself. And not that I think Breon's bad for doing that. I think, you know, it was pretty jokingly, but it also just shows that Cbum is a very humble man at heart. And I think that is one of the reasons why he's very respectable. And even throughout, you know, not during the Olympia season, but throughout the year, when he's making content and all that, there's never really much that's showy. Like he's just kind of focuses on, you know, that mentality, just bettering himself and, you know, doing what he can to help the community. So I think he's very respectable for how humble he is. I think he's also very respectable for how motivating he is and how much effort he puts in to creating content that really gets you in a disciplined and motivational mindset. He has his champion mentality that he's been advertising for the last couple months in the Olympia prep and all that. And not only that, but how high quality his videos are just shows like how much he wants to impact everybody and how much he wants to just help everyone better their own selves. And when like I watch those videos, like it makes me just like want to bulk as hard as I can, cut as hard as I can, and just start competing, you know. So I think, you know, the amount of motivation, and then that turns into discipline, and then the mentality that he shows to everybody and really just promotes is really beneficial and very respectable as well. Going off from that, he's very honest in everything he does. He doesn't make much things very secret. And two specific examples of this is one, he admitted his steroid usage, which I mean everybody kind of knew, but he didn't really, you know, make it public yet. So you can't really say that he lied about it because he never made it public. But then once he did and he went into a full breakdown, he has a whole video talking about his cycle, how much he uses per week, and how it's changed from the past to now and everything, and what he does throughout the year. So I just think it's very respectable for him to just be honest about that and show that, you know, it's it isn't something that you need to lie about. And also, going off from that, just recently, I think it was either yesterday or today, but he just talked about his bicep injury. If any of you watched the Olympia and Cbum posing, you notice that one of his biceps was really lacking the same definition that the other one had, and that's because he has a partially torn bicep. And just so, like, talking about that and talking about how he pushed through that and talking about where he's going now from the standpoint of going off from an injury, it's just respectable to show that he wants to be honest. He wants his audience to know what's going on. He doesn't just want to hide away and pretend that he's perfect and doesn't go through any problems, because we all do. And lastly, this flows right into my last point, which is, like, to all, I think this is specifically aimed at, like, the dudes, but he's very relatable. Like when I had previously mentioned that, you know, we all go through stuff, none of us are perfect. When he talks about that to his audience, it kind of, obviously, you know, we're not directly connected with him, but it almost feels like that we're connected to him in the sense that, you know, he is in a very high up position and has reached an insane level of success, and the fact that he is relatable enough to where I can relate to having the same problems as him is crazy. And I feel like that relatability also goes into, like, you know, the mentality that he has, because we all want to have that champion mentality, and when we really embrace that and really start to self-improve, then we can start noticing how alike we are to even the people at the top of the top. And unfortunately, not enough people at the top necessarily want to be relatable and be honest and promote that mentality of, you know, we're all in this together. It's all about just working on yourself. And fortunately enough, we have a dude like Cbum who really does that. And personally, I think that Cbum is one of the greatest influences that especially the young generation of people who are going into fitness can have, because he's, you know, like I said before, he's very humble, motivating, and honest. I think, like, the only thing is that, you know, with his steroid usage, like, obviously, you know, that's his own choice. Like, I'm not saying that what he's doing is, like, since he does steroids, he's a bad influence for the young generation, because obviously he's not. But, like, if there was one thing I could pick out, like one imperfection I could pick out for him to quite possibly be a bad influence for the young generation, it's just that people are going to look at him and be like, man, I need some gear now. I want to look like him. But fortunately enough, he's not super showy, and he doesn't really promote the fact that he's better than everyone else. He kind of just does it. And because of that, I don't think that people are necessarily looking at him and being like, dang, he really is better than everyone else. I need some gear so I can look at him. But it's like, how I see it is like, dang, he's better than everyone else. Wasn't showy at all. And it's all about the self-improvement for him. And so I think that the best thing to do was to be working on self-improvement for myself. So it's just like that relatable aspect. To where, you know, I'm currently not in a place of high influence or a large audience necessarily. Yeah, I can still relate to someone who is of high influence and does have a very large audience. And I think just all these points I've made combined, between him being humble, motivating, honest, and relatable, how can you not love the guy? I mean, and on top of all of what I've just said, the content that he makes is the highest of quality, and this video isn't specifically about that. But I think that he really just tries to perfect his craft in every aspect of his life without bragging about it. And I think that is what makes him so respectable and lovable by everyone in the fitness industry. I love the guy. Unfortunately, there are those people that's like, oh, like, it's so gross, like all the muscles and striations, but obviously this video isn't directed at them. So if you have that opinion, that's your own opinion, whatever, you know. But with that being said, let me know what other fitness influencers or lifters you want me to talk about in the future. And with that being said, I hope you all have a great day. Please like and subscribe, and God bless.